Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Um, this video is going to be another Fight Against Depression series. Um, sorry, I don't know, I'm in a weird mood today. Um, I want to talk about my burnout, I think, in this time. So, I don't usually come with a plan for these videos. I usually just go into them, see what comes off the top of my head. But I think I should talk about my burnout and my exhaustion and how it played a big role on me going to unalive myself all those years ago, a year and 8 months or so. It A few things before I get into the video properly. This Fight Against Depression series is to help people. I don't care about the likes, views, or subs. This is just to genuinely help as many people as I possibly can. Um, I've been through a lot in my life, and I feel like I'm being rewarded for struggling now in my life. And I just want to make sure I'm starting off on the right tracks of giving back to what I receive, right? Because I know a lot of my history has been difficult, and I've come to terms with that, and I've learned to accept it and embrace it. And I know I'm speaking from quite far point in the life of depression and mental health, because this series isn't just for depression; it's for all mental health issues. Each video might be more tailored to you, your specific needs, or if you just want general support and to hear someone else go through stuff, see their experience. My so as I've stated before, my depression started when I was about 13, 14. It really started. My mindset really started going dark. I was wearing. I was started going with goth clothes and skulls and black, and I was the only kid in the middle of a heat wave going out in jet black jeans and jet black tops and hoodies and while being really overweight, and that was brutal. But I was comfortable wearing those clothes back then. It represented what was going on inside me. Um, and then as the time went on, I finished school. My school life was never great. Like the primary schools, I got bullied. High schools, it was. I'm gonna be honest. I was a little devil at school, but not necessarily in. I wasn't necessarily a bad kid. I just never went to lesson because I didn't feel like I was learning anything of importance. And I'll be honest, I still don't think I learned out. School could have taught me anything else that I didn't already know, but I can't learn myself. In fact, I learned a lot more outside of school than I ever did in school. But that's not to say school isn't important for you. It's just my path, my life. Right? It just wasn't right for me. But getting good grades at the end of school does make a big difference if you want a job or a decent career. It, so each to their own, right? I'm just talking about my experience today. The and so through high school, I was in multiple schools, never settling down. Um, I was constantly worrying about my family with mental health, not physical health issues, severe physical health issues. Nearly lost both my mum and brother several times over the years due to health issues, and a couple of times due to the hospital's negligence. But that's a serious issue video, not depression video. That's against So it was a fun life. It was fun. But when I started getting to my worst days, um, there was a build up. My depression came from a collection of everything being compressed and me not knowing how to handle those emotions properly. So it was after high school, I did college for a year, and then I started going into straight into work. I was still down and depressed, but then I lost my best friend, and then at the same time I started a relationship. Like roughly at the same time we stopped talking as being best mate, and I can't say anything wrong about her. It ended roughly for both of us, but a lot of it was due to my fault. It's like I just wasn't in a good headspace or even really stable, mentally stable to withstand such a relationship. And inevitably we just end up hating each other. And so we ended up separating for a while again. I Oh no, we were talking for a few weeks, but my depression was still getting worse because I started a job around then, like a full-time job. And with my depression, my insomnia were flaring up. And then it came round to a summer a couple of years ago, and it was a heat wave in the UK, one of the biggest we've seen in a long time. It was roasting. And so I was working nights in a warehouse, and that's all well and good. Where I was working was relatively easy, but very, very mind-numbingly tedious and soul destroying basically. And that's essentially what happened. So I lost my best friend. I were going down a dark spiral, and I started getting tired and exhausted a lot because I was working nights. I couldn't sleep through the day with it being my insomnia or the actual heat wave, and this went on for a good few months. Um, like my darkest spiral lasted for about 4 months before I tried doing what I did, um, and so because I was exhausted physically and mentally from the mind-numbing work at where I worked, um, I started going out on the weekends, then started going out every night, drinking, partying, taking like I said, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I was taking a lot of vices. I was taking all sorts. I was drinking myself silly, binge drinking for like 4 months, and there were numerous other things that were going off at the same time. But when my relationship inevitably imploded, I can't say she was perfect, but it ended because of me. I just wasn't in the right headspace to make a relationship work in any way with anyone. It wasn't her fault. I do not blame her in any way. She did her best to try and support me through my dark times, and I was too naive to in my own head to up myself to truly appreciate what I had when I had it. And it's taken me a long time because after around my depression, I was that burnt out, then that imploded in a horrific way. Like, we're both still well and healthy and fine. I'm sure well, I hope she is. But after everything, it just all came together. I went out for a night out after everything, and I got in such a state. I took that much stuff of many different kinds and drinking. It's a miracle that didn't unalive me before I did. It and on the actual day, or the night I did it, because I came back from town at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. I had packets of prescriptions um, on me. I had quite a lot, and I also had a lot of whiskey, like full bottles of Jack Daniels. I had a bottle of wine. There were loads and loads of beer in the house, and the following night I didn't go to sleep. I didn't sleep the night off like I should have done. I didn't give my body the time to recover from the night out, and then that pushed as well as combination of everything building up, everything that's happened, plus the amount of downs I were taking, it it inevitably burnt me out. And when I got so burnt out, I felt as though my mind literally shattered. Like I could feel my mind shatter, and that was it. I would just so for the following day, for the entire day, I was drinking whiskey, still reeling off of the night before. I was drinking, taking other stuff. I was really abusing my health, really abusing my body to what it could actually handle, and my mind. And I inevitably burnt out severely. And I was burnt out before the relationship ended, but after everything added up, my entire being said, "This is enough. We are done," basically. So I ended up drinking 2 full bottles of whiskey, the bottle of wine, about 18 cans of beer. From the following night of going out drinking and doing the same thing, and I just got to a point later that day where it all just didn't feel worth it. Like, I put up with so much shit through my life, and it just didn't seem worth it to keep going for another day. It didn't. I was that tired. It's not that I wanted to unalive exactly, it's just that I wanted such a long and eternal peace and rest. I figured the best way to do that would be to unalive. Um, Depression and the burnout causes severe brain fog, as we all know, and that really clouded my judgment for a long time, for too long, longer than I care to admit. But I'm not here to sugarcoat things. I'm here to be honest with you guys. My life, don't get me wrong, I've had some good times too, but when you're depressed and you feel the weight of the world, those few good moments don't shine through the wall of darkness that surrounds you. The Even now, today, even this all this happened 2 years, almost 2 years ago. I still struggle greatly with some of the things that ultimately led to my downfall. It, I, I still, for the past few months, though I've been getting a bit better at learning more tools mentally, developing mentally, I've been neglecting myself again. I've been, I've not been eating properly or drinking enough water, and I've been grinding, like trying to, because I want, I desire for my life to get on track so badly and get started that I've been ignoring my own, what my body and mind and soul even has been screaming at me, saying, we need a rest, we need a break. And I just didn't see it. I wasn't seeing it. And thankfully I've caught on fairly early this time. It's like now I can put, I have been and I'm putting things in places to slow me down and let my body recover and my mind. It's not that I'm depressed again per se. It's just I inevitably, if I kept doing what I was doing, just constantly working, constantly trying to, this needs to be done, that needs to be done, I need to do it now. Everything needs to be done now. And for the past 3, 4 months, I've been hitting the grind really hard again. And last week, maybe the week before, I had like depression came to check up on me again. Like I had a few bad days, and I didn't really know where it came from because I thought I was getting better. I thought I'd beaten this. I thought I know what I'm doing now. I've done this. I'm even trying to help other people see it in a different way. Why is it coming up now? And now I know it. It's never close. I want just ignore my own body, my own cries for rest. Though it wasn't intentional. I'm not intentionally not letting myself rest. It's just I get I have a very bad habit of getting too in my own head and getting too caught up in the moment. Not in the moment, in my own lost in thought and planning the future from now until the rest of my life while processing the past, trying to keep in the moment. And I'm doing a lot physically and spiritually in other ways, and it's all well and good. And I fully implore you to keep pushing as well, but I personally need to learn balance of work and rest. Like I'm either rest so long that I become like lazy and stagnant and just whatever, or I get into a mindset of working, really hitting the grind, really pushing forward, and because I'm a lot of time in my own head, trying to push forward, it and never in the moment. I That's probably why I haven't noticed my body or my mind or anything else saying that it needs a break, it needs rest to recover, time to recover. And the reason I'm saying all this is that I'm not perfect. I never claim to be perfect. I want to help people. I'm I'm showing you that you're not always on your own. I have many problems still, and I'm working on it. And we're all working on it, and we can all work on it together. But being burnt out, it was one of the worst sensations I've ever felt. Like I felt heartbreak. I've mourned close family passing. I've accepted the fact that I'm really lost my very close family multiple times. But with depression and burnout, working as a tag team, you it is crippling. It does bring you to your knees, and there's no shame in it, but there's no sugarcoating it either. It is. Just give me a moment, guys. Alright, sorry guys. I have had a moment again. Had a moment again. um. So there's a saying that you can learn from any mistake, right? Learn from your own mistakes. And what I, what they don't say is that you can learn from other people's mistakes. Learn from my mistakes. Don't bottle everything up. Don't try and hide things from yourself. Try and be honest. And it's easy. It's much easier said than done, because when I'm doing these videos for you guys, it I always try to be honest with myself, but it really shows what I'm hiding from myself. Because I start going in a flow, um, how I have been in this video, and it as I'm going through the words and explaining my experience, it's showing me things that I've still got to work on, right? Things that I'm still holding back from myself, some things I'm still hiding from myself. This video is to say that if you're burnt out, or you're tired, or you just feel like you need rest, you have all the right in the world. And in fact, if no one else will believe that, like, if you don't believe it, I tell you, anyone doubts you, show them, refer them to this video right now. Let them rest. Let them recover. Let them be them. Right? I will tell anyone that if you need rest, there's no rush in life. If you need time for yourself, really check in with yourself. Are you tired? Are you exhausted? Are you burning out? Are you getting enough sleep? And if the answer is no to any of those, are you eating right? Are you drinking enough water? Are you giving yourself every opportunity to recover and grow? Because if the answer is no, like me, I I'm not perfect. I'm still making the same mistakes that I did 2 years ago that inevitably led to my downfall. But fortunately, this time I've clocked on early enough to change it before it becomes a problem again, a big problem. Because I've been getting run down a lot, like I've been had a head cold for like 3 weeks, and I know it's not the big C because I've took tests, and it's due from my body being utterly exhausted. And I don't want anybody else to go through that. What I've been through. Like, go through depression to learn to love yourself. Go through anxiety to learn to be confident in yourself. But burnout, it can learn you to. I'm going to tell you the answers of what living burnout to extremes hold. It the gravity of Earth that you normally walk around and you don't notice, it becomes 1,000 times heavier. You can literally feel the gravity and the weight force of the world and all your problems pulling you down. You can literally feel the force. Literally, you got to force yourself up, and I hope no one has to go through burnout, and if you are, I truly feel for you. It is awful. And if you're tired and exhausted, please, please take the time for yourself. It doesn't have to be much to begin with. Take a few days off work. Try and, if you can, and have the options, get your family members to aid in child responsibilities if you have children. Do your absolute best to make sure you have the chance to recover. Because I don't even wish it upon my worst enemy. The burnout, level of burnout that I endured, that I faced. It, I hope no one has to go that deep into burnout to notice that it's okay to rest. It's okay to be in the moment. It's okay to just be for a few days, for a week, weeks, months. Take as much time as you need to fully recover. Now, if you don't have the option for taking weeks off or more than a few days, take those few days, make the most of them, watch TV, do entertain yourself with some hobbies that don't require much exertion, like meditate, like try and let go of your impatience. You got to try and be patient with yourself. You have done nothing wrong. There's nothing on this earth you can do that would deem you not worthy of patience and holding yourself in a regard where you can help yourself. There's nothing that no one can do. As many as horrible things that can be done, everybody deserves the right to reflect, to really listen to themselves and follow what they really need in that given moment, in any given moment. It's not about just having a couple of nights rest and it goes away. No, it's it's trying to constantly find the balance and learning the balance of work and rest, which I severely need to learn, and I am working on it as well as many other things. But I want to make sure that you, my friends, can learn from my mistakes. If you are tired, no matter where you're at on the level of exhaustion, depression, your other mental health issues, you have the right. In fact, if you suffer with mental health issues, you have more right than anybody else to take a break and not worry and not stress and not rush yourself, your progress, your health, because there's nothing more important. Because if you don't give your time to recover and to heal, you can't enjoy the moments in life, the good moments in life. You, it, and becoming exhausted and burnt out will inevitably result in depression. I'm not saying it is the reason you've got depression, but I'm saying it could be a factor, like it was for me. And I keep saying it, there's no rush in life. The only goal in life is to live life to its fullest, to its best. And if that requires you spending even a few years working diligently on yourself, to bettering yourself, to be able to fully appreciate what things you can get, like a relationship, if you want a relationship. Because when I was burnt out and depressed and swimming in my own head, I I can't believe that relationship lasted as long as it did, honestly. And my biggest regret is that I didn't take the time I needed for myself to get over myself to truly appreciate what I had then and really give it a good effort of working out. Though it might not have worked out in the end, inevitably, there could have been, for me, many, many more joyous and pleasant memories from that time. Because, like I said, the breakup was rough, and we inevitably ended up hurting each other. Because I wasn't in a good space, and she was just, neither was she in some ways, and I do regret that I didn't take the time sooner to acknowledge myself and acknowledge my limits, and because I could have had easily a few more years of happy, wonderful memories, even if it did inevitably end up failing and blowing up in a bad way. At least we could have had some more pleasant times together to make it worthwhile. But at the same time, at least we're not hating each other, right? Like I'm not even meaning in a physical way. I mean in emotionally and mentally. We we were so similar, we were just incompatible. So don't worry, guys. If you need a break, take a break. Learn from my mistakes. Please learn from my mistakes. Yes, we all have to go through stuff to learn to be better, but I hope no one has to experience burnout the way I did. And if you have, or you are, I am truly and deeply sorry for you. I feel for you. Just know that you're not alone. I've been through it. I'm going through it. It we're all in this together. And if you want some one-on-one time with me to talk about anything, put your comment saying that I want to talk. I want to speak with you, and we'll come up with a way to talk on DM. We'll DM, and we can talk and hopefully help you through some stuff. Even if you just want to talk and someone to listen to you, I'm here. I will do my best to talk to each and every one of you if you want. Right? If you want to hear more about my experiences, I will be more than glad to share with you. That's the entire reason of this series. Is as hard as it is for me to dig these emotions up and these past events up, and then to openly and vulnerably put them online for anybody to see isn't easy. But I'm doing it with the sole intention of helping everybody else. That's why I don't want the likes and the views. It'd be nice, sure, but I'm not bothered. I'm not, I'm not in this for the gains. I'm in it for the reward and satisfaction of helping the other people, or even helping myself force my own insecurities out of the way so I can do things like this to help you. It's like I said, I'm by no means perfect, and I assure you no one else is. And if somebody is perfect to you, that is truly magnificent. And if you do have someone like that, hold on to them. Do your best to change, to improve for them. If you're not capable of doing it for yourself, do it for me, do it for them, do it for the people that genuinely care about you. Take the time. Be with yourself. There's no rush. If you're well, I'll save that for a different video. Like I said, I've got many different forms of videos in this series. Addictions, my own experiences with many of things I talk about. I talk, and there's moral support. much more focused moral support on these wow. There's much more mental health support on my channel if you want to see it. Most of all around depression, because that's what my biggest experience is. But it's not just for depression; it's for, like I said at the beginning, all of mental health, or even just the yeah. It doesn't have to be a diagnosis. It doesn't have to be diagnosed, and it can be diagnosed. And I will talk about them all. This is to inevitably help everyone. So this has been some of my experience with burnout. There is a few points in my burnout that I could go do an entire other video on if you want to see that, but they are dark and gritty, like the really dark side of my life. Like I know this is a pleasant subject to begin with, but that is the real dark side of my past. So I'll leave that for you guys to decide if you want to see that. Um, like the really dark and yeah. But so for now, I hope this helps you in some way. I really hope you take the time to appreciate your health, appreciate yourself, and if anyone tells you that you're not allowed to take a break in life, they're lying. And if they want to fight somebody over it, come showing me, come showing this video, and I'll tell them myself. I will. If you give me the number, I will call them, and I will tell them to let you rest. Don't be going. Don't give the numbers out in the comments. Don't. But if you DM me and there's some serious problems, who knows? But for now, I'm gonna leave this here, guys. It's been 40 minutes again. I really, really enjoy talking to you guys. Speaking to you means more than you realise. You mean more to me than you would realise. And as dark as it is these days, there is hope, there is light. And if you can't see it, if you can't see the light externally, that's because the light is within you. You've got to look within for the light, and then let it grow, cultivate the light, and let it shine out into the world. Be the star you want to see, be the change you want to see, and I will see you all in the next one, you beautiful creatures. I'll see you all in the next one. Stay well.